Are you ready to weave? You put your Kromski harp together and it's a beauty, and now you want to do your first project. With your loom, we included instructions for creating placemats. Your first project, that's how it's titled. We want you to read through those from beginning to end and get familiar with what we're going to be doing. And then you bring your loom and those instructions to the TV, and we'll show you here on this video clip how it's all done. We're going to make it easy and fun for you. That's what weaving's all about. So we'll meet you in the TV room, and let's make some placemats. You want to begin by placing pegs on the back of the loom in such a pattern that it'll create the length of warp that you need. You don't have to use all the pegs or all the holes, but place them so that you get the length for the project that you're working on. We suggest that the loom lean up against a wall during warping, or if you like, create a hanger so it can be hung over the back of a door. Work in a vertical position on the warping board, and it's more convenient. It'll be convenient to have your warp yarn on the floor just below the starting peg, the bottom left peg on the loom. You begin your warping by tying on to the lower left-hand start peg on the loom. Just tie a knot and secure your warp. With your warp tied to the bottom corner, you're going to be following a route like you see being done here, working your way to the top. At the top, we do the important cross of the warp. Follow along. This cross at this location must be repeated faithfully each time you come up to the top of the warping board. Then work your way to the bottom and start up again. See how we've crossed the warp threads at these last two pegs to create the all-important cross. This is going to allow us to manage the warp once we remove it from the pegs. On occasion, you'll need to slide your warp further down on the pegs to a more secure position. Keeping track of the number of warps that you create, occasionally you'll have to bring in other colors. Make sure you add the colors tie on at this lower left-hand peg. Here we have the warp completed on the back of the loom. Notice how we've worked in the white colors. Before you remove the warp from the warping pegs, you must tie off the warp at various locations to keep everything even. And at the cross, you can see we've added a number of additional ties to keep the cross area organized. You can now remove the warp from the loom.